Okay, so we're doing a acrostic solve here. Leading light of peaceful protest. Don't know. Etta James hitting the Grammy Hall of Fame. Don't know. Plain to see, clearly evident. Don't know. Still in all that being the case. Pioneer abolitionists and feminists. Don't know. Amazingly great, marvelous. Don't know that either. Okay, doing great here. With respect or modesty. Post 1993 inaugural who recited On the Pulse of Morning. I have a feeling that's Angelou, but I'm not sure. Crowdsourced news website. Is that Reddit? It might be Reddit. Not sure though. Crowdsourced news website. I guess that's what you call Reddit. I don't know. I mean, that's one definition of Reddit. Platforms for a ceremony or dress. Don't know. Sailor with a whale of a tail. Is that like, I don't really know, Moby Dick? Is it Queequeg or something? I don't know. Whatever. Dixie. Something Southland maybe? Could be Southland. Discover of great value? Don't know. Okay. Crushing this acrostic so far. Passed along by social media in a way. I'm going to go with retweet because I kind of need some answers here to actually solve it. My pencil is badly sharpened here. Let's go with retweet. My head is bloody, but I assume that's unbowed. That's kind of the quote. So I don't know if it's from Invictus. Hand in hand, side by side. Don't know. Some Converse Chucktail All-Stars. I guess it's probably low tops or high tops, so it must be high tops. It's hyphenated, sure. Democracy is the road to blank. I don't know, probably something bad, but whatever. Tallest peak in the contiguous United States is Mount Whitney. Having as many aspects as a Buddhist path to nirvana. Oh, is it threefold? I don't know how many aspects there are. I thought there were 7 actually, but maybe it's 7-fold. Who knows? Brief sermon, tedious lecture. Don't know. Theodoric the Great for one. Oh, he's probably like an Ostrogoth or something. Everything I know about the names of different Gothic tribes comes from reading the Asterix book where they go to Germany. But we're doing it 4 answers. Let's see. Maybe Ostrogoth. Probably ends in Goth anyway. On a more progressive tack, but probably ends in ER. Folks with hopes of better things to come. Optimist. No, it doesn't fit. Okay, well, we got 4. That's not bad. It's not great. Let's fill them in and see what happens. Okay, so it went fine. Nothing bad. T blank is good. It could be story. It's probably a story. It's almost certainly a story. Interesting, there's an I here as a single letter, which they tend to clump. So if a quote is written in that tone, in that person, or whatever you call it, where there's I's in it, then it makes the other single letters more likely to be I's. If there's otherwise, they're all pretty much A's. So keep that in mind. Although that one, I don't think that's a verb, so that's probably right. Yeah, nothing else bad. The U, 3-letter word U, that's probably you, especially with I and in U, so that would match. Actually, again, I mean, it's almost certainly because it's in D, which we already saw, so that's useful. And D is still in all that being the case is anyway. That's probably a G at the end of, and a blank is probably G. Hey, look, that's the G in goth. Gosh, okay, so that's good. So let's fill in goth and anyway, and then come back. So that went well. A blank is fine. And then this blank Y, so that's M or B. It's the first letter in plain to see, clearly evident, so that doesn't really help there. Then that T blank is almost certainly O. No, it's here, so that would match with Maya Angelou. So keep that in mind. I don't know if anything else jumped out. It's probably try. It's almost certainly trying. Y. Sure, it could be anything, and an I. That's in that thing I thought was threefold or sevenfold. Maybe it's nine-faced. I don't know. Let's go with Angelo and then see what happens next. That went fine, except this blank, this word that ends in A here. Blank I. It's a bit of a weird word, but whatever. That GH. So that's almost certainly a T there. That's good. Everything else filled in pretty easily. The G, yeah, I talked about that. W-E. And the U here, that's pretty harmless. So like I said, that's trying. If that's trying, that's probably trying too. So let's fill that in. James said, I don't know. Okay, so that's rostrum, I guess. So let's fill that in. And that was good. Nothing bad, and that's almost certainly something that's laugh, so probably would laugh. So let's see how it happens with that. We're really doing a lot of single word back and forth here, but sometimes it is kind of hand-to-hand combat like that. Okay, so looking down here, R-U blank H, that's probably an S or a T. Well, that could be together. That looks pretty good. T-O could be toddler. Everything else looks pretty reasonable. So let's try. It'll be T, that's probably often. That's probably more. It seems like they're telling a story with this I. So it could be, my parents often brought me to something, laugh. My mother or something would laugh. Tell maybe something, a story about the time when I did something, and then maybe that's she trying to something. So it seems like it's telling a story. So there's a lot of I, she, whatever in there, and anyway, together looks pretty good. And maybe we'll take a stab at filling in some of the stuff I just talked about. So that's good. I think I do like my parents often brought me to and then a story about the time when I think both are pretty safe guesses, so let's fill those in. Okay, so that went really well. The one thing is this word here, I think I had two. I think it might be on instead, because that T, I think that would look better as an O, and then making it an N would make Southland work, which I'm pretty sure of now. And half as an O and two wouldn't work. So an AOD is a weird ending anyway for any word. So I'm thinking that's probably on, but I'll just leave it blank. And I'm looking at this. That's probably at last, but I don't know that. That's Lucy somebody. Lucy Stone, maybe. I don't know. The name sounds vaguely familiar. Anyway, that's awesome, amazingly great, marvelous. With respect to modesty is humbly. Could be read it. I'm going to go with Southland. Discovery of great value is a trove. What that is, that's looking more like Ostrogoth, but I'm not sure. So yeah, let's go with awesome, humbly, trove, and Southland. So that's looking good. So that's a toddler. So it's probably something ward, whatever. And then that's Then I'm thinking, story, trying to something, that must be yelled. I yelled, so that's at last, I think. But again, so I got to be at last. Well, that would be eightfold, of course. Yeah, there is a letter. There's a number with an I in the. That's 5 letters, and that's an I in the second letter. And then that would be dreamers for both things of their stuff to come. So let's fill those in. So that all filled in well, and the other thing I realized when I was looking at this weird word is that I put the letter in the wrong place. It's not 47, it's an A, it's 49, it's an A. So that solves that mystery. So then I think we can start to fill in even more of this. It's my parents often brought me in a stroller to civil rights marches. My mother or father, could be either one, but the H and R are good, would laugh telling a story about the time. So let's fill those in. Oh, because that went really well. So I don't know if it's father or mother, but it all fills in. And we can fill this in. For one thing, we can tell that the author is Kamala Harris. Isn't that nice? Truth. I don't know, something, but anyway, so that tells us the leading letter of peaceful protest, of course, is MLK, is King. That, I assume, is at last. Whatever, fussing, sure. That's probably Lucy Stone. That is Reddit, I guess. Sailor with a whale of a tail. Yes, we all recall the famous phrase, call me Queequeg. No, of course, it's call me Ishmael. Democracy is the road to socialism. Some people apparently believe that. That's probably a homily. That, I guess, is an Ostrogoth, and that's leftward. So really it's just this name here, which I think is Lucy Stone, but we'll just fill this rest in, and then that'll become obvious. Okay, so that's all filled in. My parents all brought blah, blah, blah. My mother would laugh telling a story about the time when I was fussing as a toddler. What do you want, she asked, trying to soothe me. Freedom, I yelled. So that's an adorable quote, but isn't this like the very quote that she's accused of plagiarizing? I wonder if Cox and Rathbun knew that when they actually put this in, or I don't know what the lead time is on these things, because I think it was only about in the last month or so that this actually became controversial. In fact, I believe it was Martin Luther King, supposedly, as the story is about, that he supposedly said it. But anyway, you got, let's just fill this in. I was fussing, so you got that. That's at last. Of course, that's manifest, which I think I knew that, but just forgot to fill it in. Yes, it's Lucy Stone. You sort of got the gang all here. You got Martin Luther King, you got James, you got Lucy Stone, Maya Angelou's in there for fun. Twitter, Reddit, socialism. The Ostrogoths might be a bit of an outlier in this whole thing. Leftward, dreamers. It's great. Anyway, so yes, it's that quote. It's Kamala Harris. The book is called Truth. Truth We Hold. And we are done.